Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what lesbians have found. Let's hang out. And let's listen to 2 lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out, where Ellie, I hope you'll make me the luckiest podcast co-host in the world and podcast with me forever.
Of course. Yes, I will.
I knew you'd say yes. From the West Coast, I'm Lee Holmes Foster.
And from the East Coast, I'm Ellie Brigida. To those of you who have been with us through this whole journey, thank you as always for listening. And if you're a new listener, welcome. We're excited to have you here. And here's what's happening this week. This Week in the Lesdom. This Week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. And in all of our quarantine and social distancing, there is but a ray of light. There's an article on Bustle called Get Yourself a Lesbian by Jill Gutowitz, and basically says lesbians are better than everyone else. We already knew that.
Accurate.
And especially if you're trying to survive an apocalypse, lesbians are good at hoarding, good at staying inside, good at snuggling, watching Netflix, emotional support. So if you're having a hard time, just find a lesbian and they're going to get you through this. So
Look, as someone who is currently bunkered down with a lesbian through the apocalypse, I can endorse this message.
As a lesbian, hunker down as well. I agree.
Also, due to the many restrictions on any of us going out or being in contact with any other people, as we mentioned, we are going to be moving our live events into virtual events. So starting with, we are moving both of our Schitt's Creek trivia nights, both on the East Coast and the West Coast, to the web. So we are going to be doing online virtual trivia. We're very excited. We have tested many things. We think it's going to be great. We're going to have 2 of them. They are going to be on the East Coast and on the West Coast. East Coast, I believe, is already sold out.
Yep, the East Coast just coming through, even virtually. Yep. But West Coasters, we need to see you so that Lee and I can have some people to hang out with us when I'm awake at 9 p.m., hanging out with all of you. And Lee is coming away from her babies to do some Schitt's Creek trivia with you. So get your tickets, my friends.
Get your tickets. What that also means is if you are also, night owl and you want to just join at 9 p.m. your time, you are more than welcome to join from any time zone. We are recommending these in terms of the most convenient time for people based on where they land. But there are tickets available. You should definitely come hang out with us. It's this Thursday, so don't miss it.
I'm so excited. It's going to make my whole next week super exciting. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you all. We also, if you have any other ideas for virtual hangouts that you want us to do, please send them our way, because we would love to just, I'm a very social person. Lee's a social person. I know we'd love to hang out with all of you.
Yeah, we've got some ideas, but if you have other things that you think would be fun, shoot them our way, because we're definitely looking for ways to continue making community and continue bringing community, especially to all the queer people out there, because it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be rough to not be able to go and hang out and find community with other queer people. So we want to make sure that we're finding more ways to continue hanging out and connecting with each other and with all of you. So hit us up with those ideas. We are excited about them.
Yes. I also wanted to personally give a big shout out to all of our new patrons. Last week, I had a bit of an ask for you all, and you did not disappoint. So I appreciate all of you. I have cried good tears at least once this week. So I just want to say thank you. there are some beautiful people out there, and there are all of you. That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee. We are so excited to bring you episode 13 of season 3, Getting Engaged. Get it?
Emphasis on the gay. Yes. And we're thrilled to have an expert here to help us dive into this topic. We're joined today by Kate Austin. She is an LGBTQ advocate. You've probably seen her amazing photos all over Instagram, and you may have recently seen her getting engaged once or twice. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Yes, I'm so excited.
I feel like before we start, I have to tell the story of how this podcast episode came to be. So I was out with my friends and I got a DM on Instagram from Kate saying, "Hey, just want to let you know, love the podcast." And I was like, "Oh, awesome. Thanks for listening. Cool." And Lee.
Thanks, random listener.
Lee, who is creeping on our Instagram, was like, "Ellie, what are you doing? We have to get Kate on the show." So I reached out again and was like, "Oh my God."
I think it was fate, Ellie, because
fate.
Ellie usually handles our Instagram. I'm on there a lot less than she is. And so it was like a sign from the heavens that was like, "Hey, get this notification and look at it." And I was like, wait a minute.
Make sure Ellie doesn't fuck this up.
I was like, wait a minute.
So funny.
Ellie, are you paying attention to this? What's happening right now? Where are you? So there you go. It was like the stars aligned, and I'm so glad because now we get to have you on and we get to talk about getting engaged. What a topic. What a topic.
Getting engaged. Yes, it's been a crazy 2 months of just like full engagement things happening. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like very fresh for you right now. Huh?
Yeah. So the first one, my fiance and I both proposed to each other just because we're extra and we've just always planned on that. And the first one was in October, and then the second one was like a month later in November. And it's just been like nonstop since, and it's been so fun. I didn't realize that I would like proposing, like the whole engagement thing, and then also like being engaged. It's literally so fun.
It is, and I love it so much because I feel like our listeners are going to want to hear so much about this because, of course, when you're getting engaged, I mean, getting engaged in general, that's a big deal. It's a big thing, right? But I also feel like for straight people, there's like so much more of like and here are the steps, and here's how you do it, and here's the playbook, and you spend this much on the ring, and you get down on your knee, and there's like there's a lot of kind of prescribed steps, and we don't have any of that, right?
Right.
Like we
can do whatever we want.
We get to kind of make our own rules.
Yes.
I love making our own rules.
I want to, before we really dive in, though, can you, Kate, tell our listeners about your engagement story? Because
both of them, please. In great
we
detail.
know it. It went super viral. Probably most of you know it, but still, just in case, let's go over the story.
Okay, so the first one, which I thought I proposed first to my fiance Sarah, and I thought that I was like, there's no way she'll ever top this. Like, there's no way, whatever. So I proposed to her in April. For our 5-year anniversary, I got her like a Europe trip. So we went to Brussels, Paris, and Amsterdam. And Paris is like her favorite city in the world. So I knew that I wanted to propose to her in Paris, and I kind of got everything together and was like, okay, Sarah, we worked with this wedding dress company a lot in the past, like modeling for them. They're Beholden. And I was like, Beholden wants us to do a shoot while we're in Paris. They'll pay us. Like, we just have to do a quick hour-long shoot in front of the Eiffel Tower. And she was like such a little brat about it. She was like, I don't want to spend our vacation like doing a photo shoot, whatever. And I was like, just be like chill. It'll be worth it. We're going to get paid, like whatever. I lied. I was like, they're going to pay for the hotel, like just to make her be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like that sounds fine for just an hour. So we were like in gowns, and we're like, it's like 7 a.m. and we're like Ubering to the Eiffel Tower, and it's like downpouring, and it was so gross out. And I'm like standing there, and she's just like, she was like complaining the whole Uber there, just like, I can't believe we have to do this. Like, it's just pouring rain. And I'm like sitting there with the ring in my bag, and I'm like, this freaking brat, like she has no idea that I'm literally going to ask her to be my wife in like 20 seconds. And so our like photographer was like, maybe we should cancel. Like, it's really gross outside. And I was like, I leave this city tomorrow. If I hold on to this ring any longer, I will lose my mind. Like, I cannot, because we had already been on the trip for like 4 days before. So I've been just like carrying this ring around. Like, first of all, I'm going to get like jumped and someone's going to take it, or like I'm going to lose it because I lose everything. I was just like, I need to do this today. So we like went into a cafe. The photographer was like, why don't we go into this cafe and like wait it out? So we did, and it just like randomly stopped raining. Like 30 minutes went by and it just like stopped for like the whole hour. And during the photo shoot, the photographer, like, I forget what she's like, this is perfect or something like that. And that was like the sign of it's like time. We're like in the place that I like wanted to propose. And then, I did that in front of the Eiffel Tower, and it was beautiful. And then Sarah, my fiance, proposed to me on the Ellen show. So, yeah.
Which, look, before we go to the Ellen show story, I have to say, your odds that she wasn't going to top your proposal were pretty good. Like, there was a pretty good chance that she was not going to beat that.
And, like, I've told her for years, because I'm, like, very extra. I was like, I want, like, if you're going to propose to me, like, I've literally said this the whole, like, almost 6 years we've been together. I was like, you need to be able to make sure it could go viral. Like, it needs to be so good that it could. Because I'm just, like, that girl. Like, I want that. After I proposed to her and like my proposal kind of blew up and I was just like, there's no way you're ever going to top this. Like, our pictures were so pretty. Like, I was like, there's no freaking way. And of course, like, blows mine out of the water. Like, I do the most like cliche, like normal thing ever. And she like, whatever. Yeah, it was crazy. It was really, really crazy.
Ellen or the Eiffel Tower? Like, what do you really want, though?
Literally, the only way.
Ellen on the Eiffel Tower? Like, can we get that?
Imagine.
Yeah,
if she just,
that's
like,
the wedding,
out.
Right? I mean, Ellen's just going to marry you in front of the Eiffel Tower.
What a dream. Maybe. Okay, so that's the thing. It's like, so I tweeted after the proposal, I tweeted at Ellen and Chrissy Teigen because I like love them both. And I was just like, because my parents aren't like in my life because of me being gay. So I tweeted at them like jokingly, and I was just like, if you guys want to come to my wedding, like, Ellen, if you want to walk me down the aisle, that would be sick. And it started to blow, like, I tweeted it, I think, like 8 a.m. or something random, and I like told Sarah, I was like, this is so funny, like, I'm funny. It started blowing up. Like, I went off Twitter and then I came back on like 4 or 5 hours later, and it had like 50,000 whatevers, and I was like, oh my god, like, I can't believe this is happening. And it kept getting bigger and bigger, and I was just like, this is wild. Like, this is really, like, verified accounts on Twitter kept liking it, and like big people who like Ellen followed were like retweeting it, and I was just like, oh, this is getting like insane. So we were invited to the show, and I just thought that we were just like gonna see it. Like, I didn't think that it was what it was, and we were like sitting in the audience, and Ellen did a segment like show me your tweets, and mine was the last tweet that came up, like the Ellen show tweet, and I like instantly start, like, I'm a crier. If I'm not like at a 5 on the like scale of emotions, like evenly in the middle, I'm crying. Like, either side, I'm crying. And my tweet popped up, and I'm just like instantly sobbing. I was like, looked at Sarah, and I was just like, this is crazy. So then they like call us down, and I didn't think that Sarah was proposing. Like, I just thought that we were like, I don't know. It was crazy. So Ellen pulls us on the couch, and we're like, I'm like on Ellen's couch looking at her, and she kept talking to me, and I was just like, you're Ellen. Like, don't look me in the eyes. Like, I can't handle this. And then, so she interviewed us, and then she was like, oh, we have a surprise or whatever. So then she pulls us over to like the bigger part of her stage, and like the things come up, and it's like this huge gold box. And in the gold box is like all of our best friends and Sarah's parents and like her brother and sister and like 2 of my brothers were there. And I'm just like sobbing again, like, what? This is crazy. Because like the whole thing was like that my family wasn't accepting. So she like brought our chosen family, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then Ellen out of nowhere is like, oh, Sarah, do you want to like tell her why everyone's here? And I'm like, if one more thing happens, like, I'll pass out right here. Like, this is getting emotion overload. And then Sarah like proposed to me, and then Ellen like randomly comes out and like has a $25,000 check. It was just the craziest like series of events. I was like literally in the car on the way home afterwards, and I was like out of breath. It was insane. It was crazy.
I just rewatched the video like right before this, and you described it so perfectly. I mean, obviously you were there, but I was like, yeah, I just saw this. Yes, everything. Yes. But I was still into it. I was like, wait, what's going to happen? Like, what's going to happen next? Even though I just watched the video.
Okay, but I have to know, who do you think was more surprised? Do you think she was more surprised in Paris, or do you think you were more surprised on the Ellen show?
I think that it was like a different kind of surprise, because Sarah and I had always made a deal that she would propose first and I would get to walk down the aisle first. Like, that was just like, because I want to watch her walk towards me. Yeah. Like,
okay,
I have so many
questions about this. Because my wife and I had made like a deal as well about like who was proposing and all of that. And I'm so curious because like, I feel like one of the first things, right, that you have to hit when it's like two women and you're trying to decide like proposal is like, do you both propose? Are you both proposing? If only one of you is proposing, who's proposing? Who gets to propose first? Like, there's so much planning that I feel like has to go into it. So I'm curious, like, how did you land on that? And like, how did those conversations end at that point?
So Sarah and I, like, I don't even know how early into our relationship it was, but like we were like talking about it and I was like, well, I want to be proposed to. And she was like, well, I also do. So we were like, okay, cool. Like we'll both propose. Like, of course, why not? Like, why should either of us miss out on it if we both want it? So she was just like, I would like to propose first. And I was like, fine, if you want to propose first, then I get to walk down the aisle first. Cause I want the like feeling of watching her walk towards me, like down the aisle. So I was like, that's something that I want. So fine, you can propose first, even though I'm still doing it. And I'll walk down the aisle first. Like, cool. Like, we've got that covered. And
you had like your fingers crossed behind your back and you're like, yeah. Sure.
Well, also, wait, did you think she was going to propose before you got to it?
No.
Or no?
I like was so overwhelmed the whole time that like I didn't even know what was happening next. And like I kept asking her, I was like, when are you gonna propose to me? It's like she had a ring on her finger and I was like, ugh, I want one on my finger. Like I would like beg her to let me put hers on. So I kept being like, what, like, when's my turn? Like, I want to be proposed to. And she was like, early next year, like, Kate, I gotta save. Like, it's like a whole thing. So I had no idea that like she was working with a jeweler and like, but like everybody like made it seem like it was like months and months. Cause I would ask my friends, I'd be like, has Sarah said anything? And they're like, no, like she's not doing anything. Like, trust me. And I'm like bamboozled this whole time. Like, yeah.
That's
you
amazing.
have good friends to keep that secret. I feel like
I know, right?
I can't have friends who get engaged because I am a horrible secret keeper. Like,
Same.
Horrible. Just disclaimer, do not tell me.
Well, but here's what I have to tell you, Ellie. Because Kelsey, my wife, is a terrible liar. She's a really bad liar and, like, you know, doesn't think that she can, like, keep a secret or act or pretend or anything. And so I was laughing because when you were saying that, you know, you lied and you told Sarah, like, we're doing this photo shoot, and then she got, like, all pissy about doing it and just, like, bitched about it and whatever. And I was like, oh my God, this is my engagement. Like, because what...
Were you the bitch, Lee?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. So I totally was, though, because what Kelsey did is she, like, instead of having her lie, she was, like, smart about it. She's like, I'm a bad liar. I'll have Lee's parents, who are, like, great actors and can totally lie to her about this, lie for me. So she actually didn't do the setup at all. She had my parents, like, for months ahead tell me, they were like, oh, we're having like a little family reunion out in Cape Cod this weekend, like, just set it in your calendar, like, oh, if Kelsey wants to come, you should ask her if she's free and like she could come too and all this stuff. So they lied to me for like months and months and months and months and months. And then we're driving there that weekend and we're like getting off the highway and she's like, oh, actually, can I see the phone really quick because I need to look at the directions? And I was like, no, I'm giving you directions, like, it's fine. And she's like, no, like, I really need to look at the phone. And I'm like, I just, like, eyes on the road, like, safety. It's fine. I'm directing you. And then she was like, well, actually, we're going to a different hotel. So, like, I need you to give me the phone so I can see where we're going. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, my family is at this other place that I'm telling it, like, that I'm getting us directions to. And she was like, no, like, your family's not meeting us here. And I was like, yes, they are. Like, I've been talking to my parent. Like, I invited you here. What's going on? Like, and she was like, I just wanted to, like, take you for a weekend away and I didn't want you to, like, read too much into it. And she's like, so we're staying all weekend. And I was like, I only packed clothes for one night. And she's like, I packed you extra clothes. And I was like getting more and more upset about it because I'm like, I don't like, you know, I'm terrible at surprises. I'm like, I like planning.
Lee's a planner.
I'm such a planner. And so I was like, yeah, you were telling that story and I was like, oh my God, this was so me. I'm like the asshole who was just like, oh my God. But she did the same thing. She's not a good liar. So she was like, I know. Someone else will do my lying for me. So you just got to enlist help, Ellie. You got to get some friends or get some family members in there who can...
Or I'll just surprise myself. You know what I mean? Like, I won't tell myself when it's happening. You know? Like,
do you want to propose first? Is that what it is?
Oh, no. I totally want to get proposed to first. Like, I am also, like, I need a flash mob.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be, like, the biggest, most crazy moment of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
it needs to be excessive. I definitely want all the attention.
A 50-person a cappella group singing, you know.
That would be
great.
Perfect. Yeah,
that would be
amazing.
You would have to say yes.
I would have to, yeah. There's like no other choice. Yeah, so anyone, can you imagine just a random person like decides to propose to me like that? I'm like, shit. I said it on the show.
You must say yes.
I have to do
right?
it.
You're like, God, Jana's going to be so pissed now. This is just awkward. I have to say yes.
I said it, so...
I'm gonna get us back on track. So, despite agreeing that you would not propose first, you did decide to do that. So, so what caused the switch? Like, it sounds like you always kind of knew that you wanted to also propose first, anyways.
Well, we've been together for a long time. Like, we've been together for 6 years almost. That's like 100 in lesbian years. So I was like, it's time for us to like get this boat going. So I was like bugging her about it, and I was like, and her and I like travel a lot, and we were putting like a lot of money towards traveling because it was like really important to us. And she was like, well, if you want, we have to choose, like we need to either, like if you want a ring, and like I also like wanted a ring of a certain size, and she was like, if you want that, then like you got to chill out, like I got to start saving money for it. So it just felt like it was far away, and I was like, I'm so sick of waiting to be proposed to. I'm proposing. And I knew that the only way I could genuinely surprise Sarah was if it like was in this way that I did it, if she like, because she knew that she wanted to propose first. So I was like, I can, get her if she doesn't think that it's coming. And also like she thought this trip was just like another travel thing. So like she would never assume that we would get engaged while we were there. So I was just like, I don't care. I'm doing it. Like I want to be engaged. I want to like get the ball rolling. Like I want to marry her in the next, like we're getting old. Like we need to like get this going. So yeah, I was just like, whatever. She's not going to be mad that I'm proposing to her. So
yeah, how dare you propose romantically in front of the Eiffel Tower on a excursion to Paris? God, what a bitch. Just
the worst.
Horrible.
The worst. Yeah.
What do we think about joint proposals? Like at the same time?
Everybody kept telling me like, what if she does it? Like my best friend was like, I have this feeling that Sarah's gonna like try and propose back in Paris because we both loved Paris. And I was like, I would be so upset. Just because like, first of all, for me, like I want double the photos. So like if it happens twice, like I have content, like I'm a creator. I have to like think like this. So I was like, I need two like different situations. Also like I wanted her to have like her own special moment and also me to have like my own special moment. But I do think like the videos that go viral where it's like, a girl gets down on one knee and proposes, then her like girlfriend's like, oh my God, and then also gets down on a knee. It's just like, those are cute, but like not for me, but so cute. Like I cry every time.
They're so cute, but I'm like, how? Like the odds that happen is like, but I guess it's because we're doing so much planning as like queer women. We're like,
right.
You go first. No, you go first. But we know we're talking about it.
There's that, but I also feel like there's something that I think is really sweet about it, because what it means to me is always like, one of them knew like this would be really special to the other one, right? And then she's like, this is such a special thing and I'm gonna propose at it. And so they like both plan it for the same thing, and they like can't help themselves because they're like, this is the perfect opportunity to tell her. And I'm like, I love it. It's like you both fell for it.
Wasn't there one like a Harry Potter one? Like we both love
I know
Hogwarts. That couple. You do?
Well, I like from social media. Yeah. First of all, I'm Harry Potter's literally playing on my TV behind me right now. Like I love Harry Potter. Like I'm a nerd. So that proposal, I literally was like sobbing. Like in the book, it said, marry me. I was like undone over it. It was so stinking cute. Oh, yeah, that one got me good. That one got me really good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I feel like we're setting like an impossible bar.
100%.
Well, this is not in the outline. I'm going off book. But I just had this thought. Because like a lot of queer women or like queer people, like engagements go viral. What do you think it is about a gay engagement that people are just like, let's blow this up?
Well, I mean, I think that it's like not like an underdog story, but it's like it was like, so I feel like, think about it, like well, gay marriage just got legalized like not long ago. So like people want to see us like having successful, happy, like loving relationships because it was never like seen as much as it is now. And like I think companies are finally like coming around and like showing support for them, and like it's finally at a time where like, it's like our time to shine. Like we were looked down upon for so long that I think people now are finally like, this is beautiful. Like these people came from like whatever it is, it's like the underdog story. Like we're finally like the ones that like get to like share our love and our success and stuff. And I think people love that. It's so cute.
We love love. We love queer love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Truly.
I think there definitely is a lot of truth to that, of like, we just want to celebrate because we have not been able to for a long time. And it is not that far.
I have another suggestion, Ellie, for why they go viral, which is that we know how to plan shit. Like, let's be real. I'm sorry, but if you're going to compare, like, most hetero engagements to like engagements where you're going to have either two women or like queer people or like gay dudes planning engagements. Like, I'm sorry, but that shit's better.
They're going to be better. They're going to be better.
And
they're better
so
planned.
cute. Like, I just love like queer proposals. They're always so cute and like, oh, I'm a sucker for a good queer love story.
Yes. I mean, we all are.
Yeah.
Certainly not you, Ellie. You never cry at anything.
No. I love love. I'm a hopeless romantic. It's fine. I'm a Pisces.
Oh, Sarah's a Pisces. I love Pisces.
We're
both all
are.
Pisces.
Are you?
Me and
God,
Lee.
I literally
are.
love Pisces. I feel like I'm low-key a Pisces, but I'm not at all. I'm a Leo. I'm the exact opposite.
A Leo. Oh, yes. Very different from a Pisces, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah.
See, like, I feel like I'm not my sign at all.
Like, I feel like I have Leo in my chart and I don't. But, like, it's like you love attention.
Yeah.
Like,
I do. And I truly
fine.
do.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
makes sense.
I'm like, I'm not a Leo at all. I'm literally a full-time social media person that talks to a camera all day. So.
It's fine. It's fine. They're also very fun to hang around. So it's okay. There are a lot of positive traits of a Leo. So we want to talk a little bit about family involvement in engagements. I know you asked Sarah's parents for their blessing. I feel like in a queer engagement, at least for you, what was like the role of family in that?
So we're very close to her family, like very, very, very close. Her parents have like basically taken the role of being my parents as well since we've been together. And we're literally with them like every weekend. Like her family is literally like I cannot even express how much I love her entire family. So I knew it would mean a lot to her dad and her mom if I like went to them and kind of let them know. Not that I think that they would have ever had an issue with it, just because like we've been together for so long. But I knew it would mean a lot to Sarah if I asked her parents, and just that they knew and were supportive, because she always said like if I proposed to her, what she would want like a big party with her family afterwards. So we were obviously abroad, so we couldn't do that. I knew it would mean a lot to her, and I wanted to record it. And I like wanted to record me telling her whole, like her brother and her sister, she's like super close with as well. So yeah, it was important to me to also know and like go into it knowing that like they have our back and like they're fully supportive of us. And like I asked her mom first. Like I didn't do it in like the traditional like just ask the father for the blessing. Like I was just like, hey, would you guys like be cool if this is what it was? And they were so excited for us. Like they were so excited. It was really cute. I knew it would mean a lot to her, and it meant a lot to me to know that they were like, go do it.
You were already not in contact with your family by this point, right?
Right. So I stopped talking to my parents like officially last April. So like it's almost been a year now, which is crazy.
Do you think that the engagement made anything different for them? Because I feel like sometimes, you know, it's like if your family has issues with your relationship, with your sexuality, it's like there's something about getting engaged also that like makes that situation really real, you know? It's like, this is not like a phase. I'm not growing out of this. It's like, I'm planning my life around this now.
Yeah.
You know, like, do you think that there was any impact of that?
So my mom always told me, because I've been out for almost 6 years now. And my mom always told me like, this is a phase, like you'll grow out of this. Like you're not gay. Like she's super religious. So she thought it was the devil, which is wild.
Oh, right.
And
sure.
yeah, it's just casual devil inside of me. It's fine. And so I would hope, I have no idea how they feel about it. I don't think that it's changed. I think that since the Ellen proposal, I know that she like posted something on Facebook about it right after it came out, and basically was just like, oh, I love my daughter. I always will. I will always like accept her. And all my friends that she's like Facebook friends with were like, wrong. That's like not true at all, actually. And she ended up deleting it. And I didn't want to, like, I felt bad because she didn't have time to prepare for like our dirty laundry to be like low key aired, even though it's like on my platform all the time. At the same time, it's like, if you are embarrassed or feel defensive or whatever about something that you've done or said, like, change your behavior, like, learn from it, you know? And, like, instead, you still stand by everything that you did. So, like, I don't know. I don't feel like, honestly, to answer your question that I went off on a whole tangent about, I don't think that my mom is, like, the type of person that, like, the way that she thinks is right. And, like nothing can change her mind. She's, like, very stubborn.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/leshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/leshangout.
Let's hang out.
You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a way in which I think engagements like exacerbate those situations, you know, because like I have a good relationship with my wife's parents now, but it took a while. And it took a while where it was like things seemed okay, and then we got engaged and they took like a huge step backwards, you know, and I think that plays into it. Is it's like, oh, like we can play nice until this goes away. Yeah. And then when it's clear that like it's not going away, it's like getting more serious and more committed. You kind of have to like start again from there in some ways. And I imagine that that's probably something that's a pretty common situation still for like a lot of queer people. Planning engagements is like, how do you incorporate, you know, how people around you, how your family and everything, like how are people going to react to this?
Also, like in terms of family is such a big part of the wedding itself. How are you personally using your chosen family or changing traditions to make your wedding feel like your new family, right? The family that you chose.
So I have 5 older brothers who will all be in the wedding. My one brother, by the time this comes out, he'll know. I'm asking him to walk me down the aisle. he is like the greatest human ever and like loves me and Sarah. And like my niece and nephew are going to be like a flower girl and a ring bearer. And like, so they're all in it. And they're my brothers and siblings are like super, super cool. But for a first look with my dress, like Sarah's obviously going to do one with her dad. I'm going to do it with my brothers. And then other than that, like we're not doing a lot of traditional stuff anyway. So it doesn't feel like anything's going to be missing, you know? And like, I don't feel like I have to really replace anything just because like we're not doing like super heteronormative things anyway at our wedding.
Oh, but why not? They're so great.
No, the garter tosses, like they freak me out.
I know. I was like, what are the things? Because yes, garter toss, so weird.
So uncomfortable. I hate them so much.
Yes.
What I love, there's something so funny about it, right? Because it's like you get queer experiences, like more and more of them in spaces like this. And it's funny because in a lot of ways, it's like we do kind of try to follow the playbook in some ways where it's like, I'm gonna get engaged, I'm gonna get down on one knee, I'm gonna have the ring, and I'm gonna ask the question. And like, but then in other ways we're like, but also like, fuck your traditions, straight people, like we can do our own shit. And so it's like, it's funny in some ways. I feel like we get this weird hodgepodge mix of like, well, these things are cute and like these things suck. But everyone just keeps doing them for like no particular reason that we can figure out. So you get to like replace them. And I also feel like in some ways, you know, whether or not like straight people are aware of it, like I feel like there's ways in which having more and more like gay engagements, gay proposals, like I feel like it's like expanding the possibilities for them, you know, because we're like making more stuff okay to do. Whereas like before it would have been like, you're not doing your garter toss, but why not? You know, like everybody's done it in the family. And like now you kind of get an easy excuse to be like, no, scrap that. Like that's stupid.
You're like,
I want to
but
keep
the lesbians
this
don't do it. So our like gay cousin didn't do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny because I feel like too, like Sarah's like older family members, like a gay wedding, like because a lot of them have never been to one. So for like they'll be like, so what do? Are you gonna have a ceremony? Like they don't like it. Instead of it being like normal, like it all just goes out the window. Like they just can't. Not even in a way that's like like they don't like come at us offensively. They just like are so ignorant to it just because they've never been to one that they're just like, what do you wear? Are you gonna have a bridesmaid? Like they just are so thrown off by the whole thing that they have no idea like how it could possibly like work. And I'm like, it's gonna be like a normal wedding. Like you don't have to like panic, whatever. I mean, it comes with like the, so are either of you gonna wear a suit question just because they genuinely like don't know. It's
Are either of you wearing a suit?
No. No, we're both wearing dresses that we're like designing ourselves. We're excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My sister is such an asshole. Like I literally said to her, I was like, I don't want to wear a suit for my wedding, whenever it is. It'll be a long time from now, but whatever. And she's like, oh, I just like always thought you would wear a suit. Like she keeps like pushing it on me. She's like, so you're gonna like, I'll get the suit ready for you. I'm like, I'm not wearing a suit.
Wear a suit to like the rehearsal dinner, Ellie. Make her happy.
I will. I probably would wear like, I just got this new blue blazer that I love. I would do like a colored suit.
Yeah.
Full like blue on blue. But yeah, just for the rehearsal dinner. That's a great idea.
I want to wear a suit to my rehearsal dinner too.
I love this.
Yeah.
Do it.
Look at us breaking traditions, but also being exactly the same. All of us.
Just putting our
but
own
that's
little
why I
gay
think it's
twist on
so
it.
great, because it totally is, right? It's like that's exactly what we're doing. We're like, we can buck the traditions that we want to, but also you can keep the stuff that you want. And it's like, well, who can complain, right? Like, what are they going to tell you?
Yeah, exactly.
And lots of people do want to wear a suit to their weddings, and you're like, great, wear a fucking suit. You know? And I feel like that's also now normalizing. You see so many more people now who are allowing like their friends, or like, you know, if they have like more butch or like mask identified friends in their bridal party, that like you're seeing so many more, even in straight weddings now, that people are like, yeah, like my bridesmaids can wear like these dresses, or like you can wear your cool coordinated suit. And I'm like, yes. I love it.
Yeah. My friend Amanda's partner's sister got married, and they got to wear like this amazing blue suit, and all the bridesmaids are wearing blue dresses. But like, I feel like the rest of the bridesmaids like were jealous that Al got to wear this like
a cool
super suit. Like attractive suit. And they all looked great too, but it's just actually the straight people were like, wait, but can we wear suits too?
Well, or even like when we went to when Kelsey's roommate from college got married, and we went out to that wedding, and the bride had a bunch of bridesmaids, but also like one of her like best friends in the world is a guy, right? And so she had like in her bridal party, like him in her bridal party, and so her side had like all the girls in their dresses that they chose to wear, and then he was there in like this just rocking suit. I mean, he looked fantastic, you know, and you're like, yes, great, like this, who cares, you know? And it's like, it's the sort of thing that didn't feel weird at the time, but I'm like, man, I feel like, you know, 5-10 years ago, like you would never have been putting a dude in your bridal party, like.
And that's like Sarah and I both have like super mixed sides. So like mine is like 6 guys and 5 girls, and Sarah's side is like 8 girls and 2 guys, I think. And we're just like lining it up how we like want, and like don't care who walks. Like it doesn't matter to us. Like I think that was like a thing too. Like her sister was like, I can't walk down with a girl. And I was like, well, you're gonna, like, you are a maid of honor. You're gonna walk down with my maid of honor. Like, you guys, but just because.
Does she know that like, she's not getting married at your wedding?
Yeah.
like just because you walk down the aisle together, like they don't have to exchange vows when they get there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny though. And I'm excited to like make people uncomfortable if they are, just to show them like this doesn't mean that they're like having sex, like they're just walking because that's how it works, like whatever.
Despite what Hollywood would have you believe, it's not a requirement, you know?
Exactly.
I feel like we have to talk about the most heteronormative tradition, but bachelorette parties.
Oh yeah.
What's your plan? Are you doing a joint party? Is it your last night of single freedom? Which is stupid.
She keeps saying, this is my last single birthday. And I'm like, you're not fucking single, Sarah. Like, this is not your last single birthday. Like, she's screaming from the bedroom. You haven't been single for
years.
She literally is screaming from the bedroom saying, that's not what I meant.
But I love the commitment to it. It's great. That's good.
Yeah. So we're doing a joint bachelorette just because we share so many friends. It would be such a huge financial burden to like request 2. Plus we like have more fun together anyway. Like, so what we're going to do, like ideally, is we are going to do like 4 nights in like Florida or something, because we want to be warm and like want it to be affordable. And we're just going to get like a huge Airbnb with like a pool and just like everybody just like drink and have fun together. But like one night specifically, like I'll stay back and like she'll go out maybe. And then like one night we don't know that for sure, but that's like something we've kind of like toyed around with. Not that like she's gonna go out and like whatever, but like
have strippers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if she wants to,
we
like,
just watched
go,
Hustlers, and I think there's an easy solution here, and it's just a joint lap dance.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
you show up as the stripper.
Oh my
god,
that's
ideal.
I would be
a
so
twist
trash.
upon a twist. I love it.
Another surprise for the books.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you can go out by yourself, honey. Like,
Yeah.
She's gonna love when that shows up on Instagram.
Oh my god, I can't even picture me dancing like that. I would literally just laugh the whole time. So would she.
I just got such a great idea though. I'm like, keep that for the future.
Yeah, keep that in your pocket.
Ellie's
I would
taking
also
notes
look
for
like
herself.
an idiot, but it'd be fun.
Ellie,
so
put the
funny.
pen down. Come on.
I'm like, for our listeners, I literally just picked up a pen.
I think we should just not let Jana listen to this episode. I think it's safer that way.
Yeah.
We just missed a week. What happened? We just didn't put anything out. Weird.
Lee, what did you do for did you have a bachelorette?
We did have bachelorettes, and yeah, we did them separately. So I mean, same thing, like we were trying to like, you know, stay aware of how much people have to spend on your weddings, because actually your bridal party spends a lot of money on your wedding. Thing to keep in mind before you ask your friends, everyone. So what we did is the weekend that we got married in Newport, Rhode Island, and so both of our bridal parties, like we all kind of rented a big house together for like the whole weekend. And so we did our bachelorettes the same weekend as the wedding, but like a couple days ahead. And so we kind of each had like our group of friends sort of like take us each out.
Yeah.
For different things. They landed on very different evenings for the two of us. So they were great.
Also, like, do we do like vagina pops? Do we do like the like
As you
super...
can see, I like female bodies surrounding me at all times. So like I'm
Oh wait,
fine.
now I can't see it.
It's literally like I've
Oh, there we go.
Oh my god, yes.
Nice.
yeah.
I feel like our listeners need to know there's a literal like ass line silhouette and like boobs. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, true art.
You know, those look like the asses we did in New Orleans, LA, when we the painting that we did. And
oh, yes. Our beautiful works of art. Yes.
we did make beautiful works of art in at the weekend soiree. So I love it. It's perfect. It's great.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
you're saying you want little, like, boob glasses for the night. You want, like...
I don't know per se that I would wear them out, but like if we're doing like a pool party, like don't like boob like beach balls sound fun like that. I would, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or like I bet you could find like a shot glass that's like a woman's torso or something.
That
right?
sounds
like
amazing.
boobs and
Yeah.
Amazon has something. I guarantee it. Come on.
Etsy is wild. I was in my best friend's wedding earlier this year, and I was like, it was a straight wedding, and I like unfortunately had to order like dicks, but. They have like they make like crazy things that out of like body parts. Like I was seeing like stuff for girls on there too. Like it's so nuts. So yeah, titties everywhere for our bachelorette for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Class.
You realize
Class
that's
X.
gonna be the quote that we picked from this episode? Titties everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my.
Well,
bio.
we're gonna put that on a shirt. I'm making a shirt that says titties everywhere.
Yep.
We'll make them. We'll send you one, Kate. Don't worry. We
Please,
got you.
please.
Yes.
I would wear it every day.
As we wrap up, I know wedding planning is a lot. Do you have any tips for our listeners who might be planning a wedding or planning an engagement of like how to stay sane?
So I'm a very organized person. Like I have like 5 Excel sheets for our wedding already. Like and I think that like obviously like for me, like I'm gonna be like, this is the only way because that's how I like function in my brain in life is just like lists and like keeping things like orderly. But so what I feel like worked best for us is that we didn't give ourselves too many options because I feel like when you have so many, you get overwhelmed and then you can't decide. So like when we toured venues, like first we went online and like we knew what we wanted. Like, so like we're doing like a black tie ballroom, like we knew we wanted to do that. It's like kind of know what your vibe is and then like search like top blah, blah, blah venues. So I searched like top New Jersey venues, ballroom, whatever. And then we went through them, like looked at the pictures and chose like our favorite 5. And then out of those 5, we like looked and we're like, were there any queer people that have ever gotten married here? And that's kind of how we chose like our final 3 because they've done that. And then you go and we only had 3 options. So it was like, we have to pick one. And I think that helped a lot. And then once we picked our venue, and I'll say this, and I will preach this till I'm blue in the face, it is so much easier to find a venue that does everything for you. So like our venue does food. We don't have to do think about outdoor vendors. Like our alcohol is all covered. We don't have to think about bringing in alcohol. Like our specific venue gives you like a team of like 5 people to just like help me on my wedding day. And then Sarah will also get somebody for her. And like they like sew if anything goes wrong with like it's crazy. And I feel like I'm so grateful that we did that because I'm a worrier and like I need everything to go perfect because if it doesn't, I will literally lose my mind. And those are like things that I feel like helped us a lot. It's like finding a venue that had like everything included so we don't have to worry about like chair covers, like things like that, linens. Like you don't want to have to spend money on things like that. Like finding a place that has that. And then also like know your vibe and like make sure that they're queer friendly. Like that is like, and like people are like, how do you know? And I'm like, I searched their Instagram. Like I literally stalked them and like made sure that they're not only doing it, but also representing it as well. Because like, I don't want people to like work with me and like be ashamed to say that they did.
I feel like as you're saying, like everything has to go perfectly. And if it doesn't, I will freak out. I should like not tell you about my wedding and how I definitely went to the hospital that day. And like, it's totally fine. Everything's fine. I'm still married. It's great.
Wait, why?
I got so
you can't
sick.
just drop that bomb.
That's a
I was
bomb.
like, and the episode's over, and Lee's like, I went to the hospital.
Yeah.
Cute and gay.
Totally went to the hospital. I have the hospital bracelet still from like when we went to the ER, like at our wedding. We both showed up in dresses, like full ass dresses. Yeah.
I would.
Were you
lose my
married
mind.
before or after you went to the hospital?
After we went and then came back.
Badass.
I can't
What?
even think.
Lee, just tell us. Just tell us.
I just got really sick. That's all. It was like we had someone showed up with like a stomach bug or like a flu or like a something. I don't know. So I was just like super. I was sick for like the first 3 days of our honeymoon too.
Horrible.
If anybody thought to come to my wedding sick, I would be so angry. Oh my God. I would be so mad.
But look, I still got married and everything was okay, and it's great, you know? But it is why I would definitely recommend you get someone who's there who's, like, running it that day. Like, you should not be running your own wedding. Because, if we hadn't had, like, a wedding planner day of who was like, okay, like, sudden last-minute change, we're doing the cocktail hour first while they run to the hospital, and then we came back and did the ceremony, and then went straight into the reception, like, because she was just like, it's okay, I've got everything, you do what you gotta do, and like, you need someone there running it that day. It was...
That's wild. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a
My point is, even if things go wrong, it's still okay. You're gonna get married, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be perfect. And the nice thing is, the makeup, man, you look fantastic no matter what. Like, you could literally be dead under there, and like no one will know. Because I've shown every time someone looks at my wedding pictures, and they're like, "Well, you don't look that sick," and I'm like, "Dude, like, you get in a shower with that makeup on afterwards, and it just like beads on your face. Like, you can't see my face. None of that is skin. Like, you don't know what I looked like."
So excited about. I love getting my makeup. I'm like a very, very, very feminine person, and I love getting my makeup done. The person that we chose, literally, people look face tuned when she's done, and like, I cannot wait to, like, I'm gonna try and wear it for like 5 days, and then I'm gonna have to like scrape it off my face with a face paint remover.
Probably could.
It will never come off.
It's so thick.
You look like that now. Forever.
It's unbelievable. And it's crazy too, because it's like they do it. I am not like a super like heavy, I don't wear makeup like day to day. I don't put anything on. And so I'm like, I wanted to have something on because I'm like, you want to look good in the pictures, and you want everything to like be nice and whatever. But I was like, I kind of want it to look like I'm not really wearing a ton of makeup though. And like, I don't know how they can cake that much makeup on your face and you look like you're not wearing anything. And I was like, you're magical. Like, what did you do?
They truly are magicians.
But yeah, none of it was my face.
Besides the makeup, what are you most looking forward to at your wedding?
I love weddings. Like, the vibes are always so good, and like the energy is so high, and like celebrating love is like my favorite thing in the world. So I'm like very excited to like have all of our favorite people in the world under one roof celebrating like us and like our love, just because it's like, it's gonna be so fun. I'm just so excited.
Well, I feel like we can say, in addition to having some tits and ass behind you, you also have a lovely framed like typographic thing saying good things are coming. So there you go. I think it's gonna happen. Good things are coming. It's gonna be a great day.
It's like my mantra. Whenever I'm like anxious, I just like stare at it and I'm like, we're good.
There you go.
Is it timely?
I think it's
Let's
time.
Do this.
So...
Let's do this Q and gay. I'm ready.
Q and gay.
Question 1, and many of these we may have already covered with you. That's okay. Who would propose first, you or your partner?
Me.
Despite lying about it.
All right. Question number 2. Would you prefer your proposal to be A, private and intimate, B, close friends and family present, or C, public AF?
I would say public AF.
I agree.
Okay, question 3. Did you both propose, or did only one of you propose?
We both proposed. We're extra.
And they were both amazing, and no one will ever be able to declare a winner.
Oh my God. This little creature. I'm like, I can only see their head. Is it a dog? I'm like, oh, puppy.
I know the puppy's adorable.
All right, question 4. What's your preference for getting engaged? A, classic diamond ring, B, ring with a different stone, C, some other type of jewelry, or D, tattoos? It has an exclamation point, so I wanted to try to...
Yeah,
tattoos.
I felt the energy. It got me. I was like, oh.
You're like, I'm rethinking the rings.
I did a diamond. We both have diamonds, but we did lab-grown diamonds, so they're conflict-free. Is what I would suggest everyone. And they're 30% cheaper.
Question 5. Who do you want to walk you down the aisle? A, your partner, B, a family member, C, a close friend, or D, no one, I walk myself down the aisle?
I was going to walk myself. That was like a small thing, but I think it would make people around me very sad, even though I wouldn't look at it that way. So I'm doing my brother, Chris.
Nice. Remember, you can give us your own answers to this episode's Q&A questions on our Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod. Kate, thank you so much for hanging out with
us.
Thanks,
guys.
I have been so happy this whole time because I love talking about love, too.
Same.
We love love.
Yes.
We love love so much.
Titties. It's all fun.
Everything that I love. Yes. I'm so
Can
excited.
you tell our listeners where's the best place for them to find you on all the social medias?
Kate Austin with 2 N's on Instagram. And then from there, you can find my YouTube channel, which is where I post videos of all the queer things and sometimes my fiance and I. So yeah, just search Kate Austin. I'll come up.
Awesome. Do you have anything specific coming up that you want to tell our listeners about? Or it's just like follow you on social media and you'll see all the fun stuff?
We were chosen for the Knott's Most Influential Wedding of the Year. So we're doing like a bunch of fun stuff with them over the year. So if you like wedding planning and all of that, I got you.
That's exciting.
Especially queer wedding planning, because who doesn't?
Yes.
Also, Kate's going to be doing an Instagram story takeover this week, so keep an eye out for that, and you can come ask her your own questions. If there's anything that we didn't get to, cannot ask her the secret spoilers that we already cut from the episode. Only we know those.
Yes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Kate.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Let me hear you say, hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community. So we like to take the opportunity every episode to shout out some of our favorite interactions that have happened lately. This week, again, we just have to say a huge thank you to everybody who has joined as new patrons or has increased their pledges. This is going to make a huge difference. I know Ellie is certainly not the only person who is in this boat of just having had all of their income kind of disappear overnight for, at least the foreseeable future. So it really means a lot. It's going to help us not only be able to keep making the podcast, but also, keep Ellie fed.
Yes, thank you so much.
And housed and stuff. So, all of that really
That sandwich
important.
I had yesterday is from Wendy K. Bartlett. Thanks, Wendy.
Yes, we especially want to thank Wendy. We got a pledge increase that meant a lot to us, and B, an email that made both of us cry. It was just
so sweet.
Amazing. Oh, it was the sweetest. We absolutely want to be your girls, Wendy, always.
I need to explain to our audience, I'm sorry, because it was so sweet. Wendy said she doesn't think of us as Les Hangout. She thinks of us as listening to her girls. And it just made my my heart melt so much. So I hope we can be Wendy's girls and anyone. We're all of your girls. I'm so happy.
Yes.
So Wendy also is a big proponent of the arts. And so she wanted to make sure that we shout out all of the musicians in your community. If you have a local theater, try to donate your tickets, try to give back to those people, because a lot of the artists and musicians and gig workers in our economy are going to have a difficult time with this. So if there's anything that you can do, she wants to give you a personal plea to help your local arts.
So thank you, Wendy. And as always, thank you to our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Lizette Stye,
Tanya Ferguson,
Jess Klaus,
Danny Griswold,
Sarah and Julia,
Carrie Ann Lawrence,
Mark Foster,
Danny Gunlock Tamora,
Audrey O'Connor,
Alana Rosen,
Brittany Ray,
Kayla Kelly,
and Leah Hendley.
Thank you so much. And we would also love to thank our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
And our new, currently in a sponsorship it level, we want to thank Wendy K. Bartlett. Thank you so much. And to everyone who has been joining, or anyone who's thinking about it, or if you're supporting other queer podcasts or queer content creators, thank you. Even if they're not us, it doesn't matter. It's just really, really important to kind of keep people afloat right now. So let's lift our community up and all help each other get through this.
It's really huge. I love this community all the time, and especially in crisis. We know how to handle a crisis, people.
We sure do. That's why you gotta get yourself a lesbian.
Yes. Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com.
Or check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Make sure that you subscribe in whatever app you use to listen to podcasts. That way you'll get new episodes as soon as they go up.
We also are posting videos on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/letshangoutpod to catch them.
If you want to help support the podcast, there are so many ways that you can do that. The first one is easy, it's free, is go on iTunes and leave us a rating and a review. It helps new people find the podcast.
And if you want to help support us on Patreon, you can do that at bit.ly/lespatreon. We're going to be hosting more watch parties as we're all hanging out virtually, and we're going to try to do more live virtual events for our patrons, so we would love to see you there.
You also can still buy merch at our merch store. It is on TeePublic. You can get tees and tanks and totes and all sorts of good gay swag. You can find that at bit.ly/lesshop.
If you want to find us individually, you can find me at Ellie Brigida on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at LSH Foster.
With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee.
And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. 2 guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude, stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're 2 dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice.
Brav Bros.
Good job.